we have gathered here for celebrating Swami Vivekananda Jayanti. A monk who actually advocated Indian culture in the West. The people who are staying beyond Sindhu were called as Hindus, but actually it is the culture, Indian culture. Many things were known to West, however, he tried to advocate it in a proper way. Indian culture considered each and every human being as a brother or sister, whether they belong to any country, caste or creed. He tried to advocate that, and in the country also he tried to convey exact meaning of caste, which was actually designed for getting the best workmanship, but later because of poverty or whatever human nature, it was used for extortion or considering the other caste as less than the other higher caste. So that higher and lower was later, but it was basically to develop the artisanship, workmanship. So this he tried to convey Indians. He moved throughout the world and within India also, conveying this message of brotherhood. And in the West, he conveyed that Indian culture is inclusive in nature. It doesn't tell that you don't worship this god or that god or any other god. So it is more a broader vision, more inclusive. You are allowed to worship anything that you want. It may be a tree, it may be an animal, it may be your guru, it may be your parents, it may be any of the religious prophets, anybody. It may be imaginary also. Because if you are not believing in any of these, what you can say as the seen people or the mortal ones, you can think of the imaginary ones and worship them also. You can have faith in any. But there are certain rules which you have to follow to call yourselves as Indian in Indian culture. And one of them is brotherhood. Second is devotion to your profession. Even if you are devoted to your profession, that itself is your God. You can see the God in your child, you can see the God in your parents. Means Indian culture doesn't believe in one God or anything, it believes in God making. You can create your own God. It can be a nice sculpture, which we called it as Murti, or it can be any of the 5 tattvas. That also is God. So it is left up to the individual to believe in whichever God they are creating. And that is why he proved to the West that this is more inclusive culture. We include each and every individual, each and every animal being, each and every plant. any insect. And we are inclusive. We respect everything in this world. We respect the Mother Earth, and we call it as Mother because it holds us. We respect each and everything that helps us to live. So this type of inclusive culture is seen rarely in this world, and that is Indian culture. Over the period of time, it had deteriorated. He tried to bring up that culture back. Respect others, respect environment, respect earth, respect feelings of your fellow colleagues, respect your work, get devoted to your work. There is no need of having a special God for you. If you are devoted in your work, you are devoted in your research, you are devoted in studies, that itself is enough to get what we call it as punya. So with this message, lived hardly for 40 years, but he brought a particular level of status to Indian culture in the West, because at that time it was colonial rule. So today we remember him on his Jayanti, and today also one step that we are taking is our seminar hall will be called as Swami Vivekananda Hall henceforth. So rather than calling it as we are going to have our function in seminar hall, it will be called as in Swami Vivekananda Hall. And just as he had mentioned that the ancient book of India was placed down and everything was on top of it, all other religious books were on top and the Indian book was below during Chicago conference. Similarly, our lowest seminar hall, which holds the upper full building, will be Swami Vivekananda Hall. So with this, I request our own Professor Prajal Sakardande to brief us about Swami Vivekananda, more details of it. And as we know, Prajal sir is known to Goa for his various lectures that he delivers on Indian culture, Indian various history related people. And it would be very nice that he enlightens us on Swami Vivekananda today. Prajal?
Thank you, madam. So, today is the National Youth Day, 12th January. So, 12th January is the day of Swami Vivekananda Jayanti. He was born today, 12th January 1863 in Calcutta at 6:33 p.m. Having said this, we also cannot forget that today is also the birth anniversary of a great mother, that is Jizamata Jizabai, the mother of Chhatrapati Shivaji. We should not forget her also. Aditya reminded me that today is also the birth anniversary of a very gutsy, daring and brave son of India, that is Surja Sen, who was a revolutionary, who was hanged for his revolutionary activities. We should not forget. We should also not forget our colleague Akshata's birthday today. In fact, she should be thankful to all these three for having been born on her birthday. Okay? So with this, Madam has said a lot about Swami Vivekananda's philosophy. In fact, she has encapsulated Vivekananda in a nutshell. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This was the prolific message that Vivekananda gave to the youth of India. Arise, awake, and stop not till your goal is reached. There are many youth here. So for them, this message is very, very pertinent. Now, Swami Vivekananda's philosophy was centered around our country. He said, your first love should be towards your mother, that is Mother India, Bharat. And you can express this love in any way you want. Even when you pick up a piece of garbage and throw it in the dustbin, instead of you eat a chocolate and throw the wrapper down. And if you pick it up and throw it in the dustbin, you are doing service to the nation. So don't think that you have to do andolans like I do. In your own small way, you can help the nation, build the nation, and that itself is your service to the nation. So that is a beautiful mantra that he gave us, that you have to first serve your motherland. You have to look at your own mother as God, as principal has mentioned. Then he said, you have to be physically fit. And on one occasion, I like that statement, in a lighter vein, he says to the youth in Calcutta, he says, Gita and football can take you to heaven. I like that statement. Pandurang is here. He is exhorting his students to play football. So that is for him and others also. So Gita and football can take you to heaven, he says. It means that Bhagavad Gita, now this is not from a parochial point of view. The moment we say Bhagavad Gita, Bharat Mata, there is some kind of something happens to various people. They think it is parochial, we are all Indians. And Bharat Mata is our motherland. So whether she is represented in the form of a Devi with a Trishul in her hand, that's a beautiful representation. Why should we be averse to that? When we put up, Adit, myself and Ame put up a Bharat Mata in the staff room, some people started feeling restless. Why? That's our motherland, it's a beautiful representation. Then he says, you have to do Samaj Seva. Societal concern should be your primary duty. Now here again, you don't have to go to the streets and shout. In your own way, you can show concern for the society. Maybe you show concern to orphans. Many of us do it. They don't publicize it. I know many of my colleagues do it. So that he stresses on. And the most important for us as Goans, and we should be all proud of that he visited Goa. He visited Goa between 27 October 1892 to 30th October 1892. And he writes a beautiful line about Panji. It makes me very emotional when I think of Panji. He describes Panji as a beautiful, neat and clean city. In his letter to Subrai Naik, he writes, Panji is such a beautiful, neat and clean city. He came to Panji. That's why that road, Swami Vivekananda Road, is mentioned. He visited Old Goa. He visited the churches of Old Goa. He visited the Mangeshi temple. He visited the Shantadurga temple of Kaule, and he sat in the Sabha Mandap. He sat in the Sabha Mandap of Shantadurga temple, which is my Kuladaivat, and he felt that this is an abode of peace. His residence was in the room which is now preserved as a historical room in Damodar Sal in Margao. Those of you who are from Margao must have definitely seen on the Abad Faria road, there is the Damodar Sal. There is a temple dedicated to Lord Damodar, and on the side there is a room in which Subrai Naik, his host, who was a great Sanskrit scholar of Goa, he had hosted him there. When I visited there, they have kept all his belongings, the chair that he sat, and all those things. It is well preserved in Damodar Sal in Margao. What was his purpose in coming to Goa? It was Portuguese Goa, and rest of the country was under British rule. His purpose in coming to Goa was to study Christ. His purpose was to study the Christian scriptures, because he was told that if you want to study Christian scriptures, they are available in Goa. And the place that was told to him was the Rashol Seminary. Rashol Seminary was a Jesuit seminary. It is still there. And there Swami Vivekananda had interaction with Father Alvarez, and they deliberated, discussed on the message of Christ. So that was his main intention. His main intention was, before criticizing any religion, very important thought, let us understand all the religions and not criticize it. He was a very secular person. He respected all religions. And he was very proud of his Hindu religion. He was proud of Hinduism because he says that Hinduism has a message for everyone like all other religions has. Don't try to, put Hinduism in a bracket. Hinduism is all-pervading, universal, scientific, nature worship. And that's when he went to Chicago, what Hinduism exhorts, that universal brotherhood, he said, he addressed the Chicago, the Americans on 11th September 1893 as brothers and sisters of America. That itself shows that Hinduism believes in humanity, not in parochialism, not in regionalism. That whole Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that philosophy that we have in Upanishads, that's what he was very much in tune with Upanishads. And he spoke about the Vedanta philosophy, especially. There is a lot of things I have read about this Advaita Vedanta. That is no dualism. That God and human being are one. It's one. Not Dvaivat. Dvaivat is dualism. God is separate, soul is separate. Here he says God and human beings are one. And if you follow the good karma, you will reach that Advait state and be merged with the universal God. So there is he was very fond of fish. He was very fond of mutton. He was a very practical sannyasi. He was fond of sweets like me. He had diabetes. You may not know this side of Swami Vivekananda. He loved to play football. Pandurang. So don't try to, narrow down Swami Vivekananda just that he's just a Swami and he's belonging to Hindu religion. No, he does not belong to any religion. He belongs to all religion, and all religions are encompassed in this universal truth, he says. Then he interacted with Father Alvarez. Another very beautiful thing is he was very fond of tabla. So That time Goa's renowned tabla player was Khaprumam Parvatkar from Paroda. And Khaprumam Parvatkar came from Paroda to meet him. In the Damodar Sal, they had a tabla Jugalbandi. And both excelled. There was no ego. Both were excellent. Swami Vivekananda played it, he enthralled the audience there. Okay, so, and the people of Margao, they used to flock to see him every day because the Swami has come and how he looked and all that. So they gave him a very rousing reception. And when he left, it is said that some people cried. There was so much, within a few days, they became emotionally attached to him. And then he went to Belgaum. So it was, we are blessed to have Swami Vivekananda as a national, as a youth icon, and it is befitting that our college has started this celebrating Vallabhbhai Patel Gandhi, this. So that is the message of Swami Vivekananda, that we are all one. There should be no distinction between Hindus, Muslims, Christians. That's why he came to Goa to study Christianity. His last point was the memorial, which is now the Kanyakumari. That point, he did the entire parikrama of India. He also says that first you see your country. See the entire country, Mahaparikrama. And then he went to Chicago. He addressed people who loved him. And in Chicago, he became the universal monk. He became the universal leader. He lived only 39 years. He took self-samadhi. He was suffering from various ailments that did not deter him from anything. His disciples were there. I visited the Belur Mutt, and then he took that Samadhi, Mahaparinirvan it is called, on 4th July 1902, and the great monk left for his heavenly abode. With this, I would like to conclude saying a very happy National Youth Day to all. Dev Barakah.
Very nicely gave a brief about our world leader, I would say, Swami Vivekananda. One point to add here you may not know, and that is, I think as yet nobody has broken his world record of fastest reader. Fastest reader, I do not know these last 20 years, but before that, till then, he was the fastest reader. He could finish the books in no time. And as you have said, he had many ailments, and when he was about to, he felt that he will be no more. Just then he got the full set of Britannica, okay, Oxford. And he wanted to go through that. He completed reading them within 5 days, 11 volumes. And then he told his disciple, you can pick any of them and ask me the word. And he could answer that. And he completed that before his death. So this is some unimaginary, I would say, capacity that he had of reading and also keeping in his memory. But we lost him within few years. Perhaps it would have been a great thing if he had remained for another 20 years. India might have been different as far as castes were concerned during his tenure. He had just started that. But to have that total mental, switch over as regards the caste, a person like him was required in India. Whatever is this thing, we have to always say that India is blessed with many people who are highly intelligent, devoted, and I would say they do the service for this humankind. Let us try ourselves to contribute a little. whatever we have heard from Rajat, that you worship your mother land not just by, as he said, it has to be done something different. At present, worshipping our motherland is coming out from this corona. So help in whatever possible way your students. That itself is a service to the God. Try to bring them out from whatever psychology they are going through. So with that, we are completing. And when at 10:30, we are going to put the nameplate of our seminar hall and name it as Swami Vivekananda Hall. And Dinana. So I thank him for this suggestion. It was his suggestion because I should give due credit to the person who suggested this.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is Dinana. So clap for him.
It's a dynamic NSS program.
Yeah, but besides that, he had a very nice thought which I liked, and so due credit always I give to the person who comes out with intelligent ideas, and one intelligent person we have, and that is Dinana. So it was Dinana's suggestion, and we are going to follow his suggestion and also name our AV room and upper two rooms also, but that is with the permission of the management.
Ladies' room, Rani of Jhansi.
Yeah. So some names have been suggested. So for the others, let us discuss with the management also. And so, thanks Dinanath for such a beautiful suggestion. Thank you all.